Game on. It's time for Top That Trade, starring Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network News contributor, and Alan Nuckman, a pro trader and chief market strategist at bullseyeoption.com. Ready, set, round one. Freaked about peak. A renowned market analyst says it's time to shift away from stocks. Does that make sense with the 2023 strength and that nice rally that started this year?
Yeah, we've had a nice start to the year. We've got back some of these losses. Now you've got to decide, are you an investor or are you a trader? So if you're in the big picture, you just let the markets do its thing. But as a trader, it's harder now that we're in the middle. It's easier from a risk reward standpoint if you're at a high level or at an extreme low level to look at some opportunities here. So I'm looking at the fact that we've been for 10 months between 3750 and 4250 in the S&P, kind of sideways here. Now, I'm going to let the markets tell me, are we going to break out to the upside or are we going to go down to the midpoint here at this 4,000 level? So you got to be smart enough to let the markets tell you, in my opinion.
Whenever I hear the term peak, I think of peak freak, right? Peak oil, peak demand. Every time I hear that, they're never right? Are they? Right. I mean, are we always at the peak? It seems like whenever they use that term, it's a sign to go the other way. And if you look at what we've seen in the market, I think Alan's right. We're kind of in a sideways congestion pattern. There's no sign that the market's going to peak. And to be honest with you, I think that the odds is that you usually go into these periods with an upward bias. But that isn't to say that you shouldn't, maybe reallocate some funds. There's no doubt that you're earning interest. Yeah, take some profits. But you can earn interest these days, which you couldn't for many, many years. So to have a part of your portfolio earning a little extra interest, that's probably a good thing.
Round number two, empty cup. Is Florida really running out of orange juice? What does that mean for the price of OJ?
No, it's gone. It's all gone. I went to you go to the hotels, you go by the pool, the screwdrivers are being made with cranberry juice. No,
they only had 20 million boxes of oranges this year.
Well, yeah, but that's a 65-year low. And there's a lot of places in the world where we drink orange juice. And listen. I mean, if you look at the chart, we saw this typical commodity move. We had a shortage of supply. The market went up day after day after day, and we hit a peak. And the one thing about orange juice is that it has a price level that we know from history, because we've been through these orange juice shortages before, where people will just stop drinking it. So if it gets too expensive, you see demand drop, prices come back down. That's not to say that the citrus greening disease and the hurricane that they had didn't take a toll on the Florida crop. Florida orange juice crop has really been on some tough times for a long time. So we hope it bounces back in a big way.
Brazil. That's the key. Brazil now picks up all our slack, and a lot of that land that used to be in orange groves, it goes to tourism now. They're making money. The farmers, as we see across the country, it's not just orange juice; it's cornfields here in Chicago. They sell it for developments. They make their money that way.
Florida oranges taste the best. They really do.
Orange juice has been between $1 and $2 for 50 years. We broke out. Now we hit $2.50. So target is $3. But that's not an all-time high. If you adjust the 1990 price, which was $2 for inflation, orange juice would have to get to $4.70. So we've got a lot of upside. But you know what? You can always get orange drink, which is just sugar and orange flavoring. And I think sugar's got more upside potential here than orange juice, which has already made a big, big run.
Round number three, $1 million thoughts. Bloomberg experts debated where to invest $1 million. What would you guys do with $10,000 to spend in the stock market or elsewhere?
Well, Phil was right. Cash. Cash is a big, big deal now. You can get 5%, and that gives you plenty of time to think about where you want to put your money. You want to look at crypto? Do you want to look at farmland? Do you want to buy some cars? Do you want to wine, art, stocks? Wherever you want to invest, but you've got time to think about it, getting that interest. But for the individuals, you've got to figure out when you need this money. And it was interesting watching these Bloomberg guys try and figure out what to do with $1 million. Most people realistically don't have that issue, but it's a good problem to have. And getting 5% on $1 million is a nice number.
It's a very nice number. But, I think at the same time, you remember the Bare Naked's lady song, if you had $1 million, they would eat Kraft dinners. So maybe you should invest it in Kraft. And actually, believe it or not, I do think food stocks are not a bad investment. It's almost like earning interest out of your money, and I think those stocks are going to do well. Of course, the other one, of course, if we had $1 million, other than earning interest, would be oil stocks. Listen, I think we're in the beginning of a new oil boom. I think we're seeing it right now. We have a commodity that they're trying to make rare. And whenever you do that, it makes it a lot more expensive. And people who own those stocks should do very well, not just today, but for decades to come.
Dividends, and plus you sleep better at night knowing if gas prices go up that you're taking advantage of it.
Absolutely.
On to the bonus round question for today. Singer and entrepreneur Rihanna recently stunned on Super Bowl Sunday. According to Forbes, what is her net worth? Is it $500 million, $1 billion, or $1.4 billion?
Wow. With $1.4 billion.
I'm going to pick the nice round number, the one. Just one. She's worth just one.
Riri is worth $1.4 billion. Phil, you are our winner. Your knowledge of pop culture never ceases to amaze. Great job, guys. I think that ended Alan's hot streak. Business First AM will be right back.